Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It is modeled in 1/32 scale, it copies I-16 Type 10, but this time version comes from World War II China Guomindang Air Force fighters. So here we have Chinese marking options, and it might be interesting for some of you, so I decided to take a look at this kit and check what is actually included here. This is a commercial sample, so it means you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. As far as I know, it should be already available for purchase on Modelimex website, so if you're, let's say, want to get it ASAP, just go to Modelimex and order it straight away. So first of all, you can notice that box barely fits into our frame, so here you can see comparison with my hand. Also we have quite nice box art. Then on the side we have some information about this kit. There are 114 parts, which might sound surprising for 1/32 scale kit, but this is a main philosophy of the ICM kits in 1/32 scale. Less parts, but still we have quite nice detailing, and of course nobody stops you from getting some aftermarket PE. Here we have the same marking option as the one you see here on the box art, so we are going to open this box. And by the way, the box structure is typical for ICM. As you can see, this is a flexible box, top lid, and here we have sturdy white cardboard box which should actually protect everything inside. Just give me a second. I'm going to open it and we will take a closer look. So here is what we have inside. Assembly manual on the top, obviously we'll check it a bit later. I would like to start with plastic parts and then we'll move on to the assembly manual. So just give me a second. In the meantime, let me remind you that we are non-profit channel, so if you would like to help us, we have the special donate button on our website and you can just click it and send us some money via PayPal. All this money will be used in order to improve quality of photo and video reviews on our YouTube channel and of course on our website as well. So I'm going to remove those plastic sprues. Let's start with clear frame because it was on the top, it was in the separate plastic bag, so I guess we can open it and take a closer look. Here we have two plastic parts and it's not difficult to guess which ones. So we have the windshield and also we have instrument panel, but these are two noticeable parts. Here we have the minor parts as well. Also target sight is here and molding quality looks completely fine. Masks are not included, but I know that Edward produces masks sets for this kit, so it should be relatively easy to get the aftermarket masks, apply them straight away on your kit and avoid time wasting trying to cut precise masks. Okay, next we go on with first gray plastic sprue. This one is quite huge, I would say, because of wing parts. And also here we have one piece cowling, we have propeller hub, we have also landing gear parts. And note that here wing parts, they're molded without ailerons. Ailerons are separate and propeller is attached on one attachment point, which is really cool, which should be easier to separate. And if we flip it over, here inside you can notice that we have guiding pins, which will help you with proper alignment of these parts together. Okay. Next we go on with smaller frame. This one is dedicated to engine parts. Let's not forget that this is a 1/32 scale kit, so that's why we have quite detailed engine out of the box. We also have quite nice cockpit as well. For machine guns, I would rather search for metal barrels because it will improve the appearance of the model, especially in such size. And of course for the cockpit you can get Edward PE in order to get even more detailed cockpit, and I mean it will be visible, especially considering that I-16 has open cockpit in no matter which version, let's say. Next we go on with another plastic frame, and here I'm a bit confused. I guess these are the parts we will have to use for the Chinese version. So as you can see here we have slightly different wing half. We also have the right fuselage half, which is also slightly different. Cowling, propeller hub, new propeller, aileron, And that's pretty much all as far as you can see. We'll check it in assembly manual, of course. But next we get the last grey plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to fuselage halves. As you can see, we have both molded together with tail section. Also landing gear wheels, I would rather recommend to replace them with some resin set. Also separate ailerons, tail wings, elevators. And if we flip over the fuselage halves, as you can see here, we have some detailing as well, and we also get some guiding elements which should help you with proper alignment of those parts together. This is a really handy thing. The same design is used for the landing gear wheels, which is really cool, and if you plan to build out of the box version of this model, it will be handy for quicker assembly or faster assembly of the whole model. Next, as you remember, we had the assembly manual, but also traditionally for ICM we have the decal sheet inside, so let's remove it. So as for the decal sheet, here we have all necessary symbols for several marking options. We also have decal for the instrument panel, and everything looks completely fine. There is no mention where it was printed, but still printing quality looks really good, and I don't have any complaints about this. Now we can move on to the assembly manual, so let's open it. So first of all, this is a typical ICM brochure, so it's quite big. It's color printed, we have short history note in Russian and English, technical specifications, safety advices, and of course paints chart on the first page. Then we move on, let me close lenses a bit. So we move on with parts map. Note that this wing half won't be used. We will be actually using the wing half from the new sprue. Next we continue, or we actually start assembly process with wing parts. We assemble ailerons. Note that ailerons will have to be glued out of two halves as well, which is quite surprising in my opinion. Next we go on with installation of these ailerons into the wing. We use the lower fuselage panel, and somehow it will have to be combined with wing, surprisingly. Next we go on with cockpit wall. Here we assemble the rudder pedals, we install all this stuff on the cockpit floor. Then we join, actually the cockpit floor will have to be inserted into the cockpit walls, which is quite interesting design, I would say. Here you can see the instrument panel assembly. Next we continue with oxygen bottle. If I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section below. Next, here we have control column, here we have some of the cockpit parts. We continue with installation of those cockpit parts into the fuselage half, and note we are still working with one side of the fuselage, it's still not closed fuselage as some of you might think. We are closing it only here after installation of the rudder, which is quite unusual, to say the least, so pay attention and use the right parts in the right order, because otherwise it will be tricky to assemble. Next, here we continue with cockpit door, let's say. Then we install the whole fuselage subassembly onto the wing. We continue with elevators and tail wings. Here we assemble the engine together with engine mount, as you can see here. And again, if you get some Edward P, you can detail it even more, and of course it will be noticeable, even though I-16 has, let's say, quite special cowling, but you can think of options how to open it, because as you can see cowling panels are separate, so might be possible to do just the removable panels which you will be taking off the aircraft in order to display the engine inside. Next we continue here with landing gear. So landing gear will be quite easy to assemble, even though it might look complex because of several struts to combine. And also here you assemble landing gear wheels. As I said before, if you have a chance to get the resin replacement, do it, because in 1/32 scale it will be a noticeable change. Next we have the installation of those wheels into the place, pitot tube, and that's pretty much all. So 58 steps in total. Then we go on with marking guide. So first marking comes from 1939, another one comes from the same year, so two marking options already here. and 2 more are here. This one is quite interesting because it has dark cooling, and it comes from 1940, and another one from June 1941. So, as I said before, this set should be already available on Cazimet Publishing website, actually, Modelimex website, my wrong. Anyway. So you can get it ASAP, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.